She felt a little bit trapped herself, and she wanted to live her life fully, to follow her heart, to be the captain of her own soul, not to be on an allowance that dad gave out to her. Violence against women at that time wasn't discussed. Domestic violence was considered a family issue. It was private. So she recognized that people were in danger and they needed a support system. And so she spoke about domestic violence. She put into words what people were trying to ignore, what people were trying to deny ever existed. And I think that upset a lot of people, and I think she was okay with being an upsetter. She was a hellraiser. I'll go ahead and be honest about that. She recognized this, and one of the first things that she did was go down to the police department, and they opened up their books to her. And in the year 1975, she went through all of their police calls and identified the ones that could be classified as domestic violence, as spouse abuse. So she was able to get those statistics and the data and build a case for why we need resources to help people, to be proactive, let's not wait until it's too late. Let's do what we can do to prevent tragedy. After she got through her devastating divorce, it was a very dark period for her. The way that she healed from it was to help other people. The best way she could help herself was to help other people. It was part of her rebellion, to divorce, and she wanted to live life on her own terms. She wanted to open up the windows, put art on the wall, and listen to music. And she wanted to live a full life and not have to, tiptoe on eggshells when dad came home to keep everybody quiet and all that. So she got the house in the divorce, and we had a spare bedroom, and there were survivors who needed somewhere to go. And we hid them in our spare bedroom. And it was just kind of a normal thing for us. In some ways, it was actually kind of fun, because I got to play and hang out with all these different kids, and she was very happy. It brought her a lot of happiness, and it was really good for me to see my mom happy. And I think in some ways, Harbor House is her own liberation. That's what it represents, because it helped her get through this dark period. And even, when we hid a family in our spare bedroom, there was some fear involved with that. We didn't know if whoever was coming after them was going to drive their car into our front yard, So it was kind of rough back then, but that was the grassroots beginning of what we have today. One of her greatest accomplishments with Spouse Abuse Inc. was standing up the building itself. And that was based on the statistics that she had gathered. That was a huge accomplishment for her, and she was very proud of that. And as a child myself, I thought she was ending domestic violence. I didn't know that we were just scratching the tip of the iceberg. But for her, that was a huge accomplishment. It seems pretty primitive compared to it now, just to have an old building with, bedrooms and bathrooms and a kitchen where people could stay there with their children safe. If Mom were with us today, she would be blown away by the success and sophistication of Harbor House and how visionary it is, too. She would be beside herself. I've spent some time on campus, and this is the community she always dreamed of. This is a community, men, women, children, helping one another through a dark time. And it's when we go through these times that we find out what's real. And this is exactly what she would have wanted. And I don't think she ever dreamt in her wildest dreams that this was actually possible. And she started it.